I believe you will be interested. This is the first draft of a declaration of the International Mayors Conference. First draft, declaration of the International Mayors Conference now here in Vienna. May I ask you to listen, those of you who are interested, conscious of the fact that today we are facing one of the greatest humanitarian challenges for generation. It's one of the greatest one, and we are responsible for each other, but also for this planet. Aware of the fact that we have to build bridges and we must find ways in order to assure the cohesion of our societies, aware of the fact that we have to empathize with the distress and the confusions of others, that we will listen and ask, that we learn from each other, and that we have to jointly find answers in order to obtain sustainable solutions. We, the participants, initiatives, and facilitators of the Mayors Conference now met for 2 days here in Vienna in order to give encouragement and help to all those who feel left behind, who are exposed to hostility, and who are exhausted. Through new friendships and acquaintances, we are encouraged, we are enriched by a tremendous amount of experience, equipped with a lot of knowledge from different, very diverse communes. We are convinced here more than today that this crisis can be overcome. We want to state the following. In the face of a humanitarian disaster, we urge for an increased taking of measures based on wisdom, on competence, and diplomatic and security policy measures to put an end to the armed conflicts, and knowing that those seeking protection are on a path which is unnecessarily associated with dangers. We agree that there must be legal routes to come to Europe and to put an end to the smuggling, to this disaster of smuggling. And for this purpose, EU missions and embassies are necessary to issue visas to give refugees an access in a legal manner. And also we need to create hotspots with financial and personal resources. These have to be equipped. And we urge all European people, all people who think in terms of Europe and who feel for Europe, to fight for rules that conform to humanitarian, humanist values and function. This means a rapid distribution of refugees, which will meet the desires of those who are on flight to get stability and to get all the possibilities in the countries to which they have immigrated. And this means we have to integrate those very quickly who will become our fellow citizens, but we also have to strengthen those who will one day return to their home countries. Aware of the fact that even the most committed diplomacy in the immediate future will not lead to a world without wars, we are convinced of the necessity of immediate substantial increases of the funding for humanitarian aid in the neighboring countries of Syria, countries such as Lebanon, and Jordan, Greece, and Italy. They must not be left alone under this hardship. The support of Turkey must go hand in hand with the efforts to reinstitute the peace process with the Kurds. Aware of the fact that the first month and years will determine whether integration will be successful, we consider questions concerning accommodation, education, getting to know each other, the passing on of contemporary European values and standards, and opportunities in the labor market as elementary prerequisites for a common future. We need sufficient educational resources for the youngest refugees, and also educational and qualification and upskilling measures for young people above 16 who very often do not fit into our educational system. Fully aware of the fact that many citizens feel a sense of insecurity, and they are afraid also because there is no public security, and they are afraid of the crowding out in the housing and labor market. We have to conduct an open societal debate as to how we can convert our continent into an area of affluence and optimism. We know that most efforts are being made in cities, in districts where mayors and thousands of citizens who have a good heart are committed, and they're often left alone. And in these days, we have learned from the experience in the local governments, and we've learned a lot, and we can now outline plausible paths which will permit a responsible and a balanced refugee policy at the local, regional, but also at the national level and at the European level. And we will definitely explain in detail in a final declaration, fully aware of the fact that problems can never be solved by applying the same patterns of thought that gave rise to these problems. We, therefore, are deeply convinced that we have to address all citizens who show responsibility in the European Union. We address ourselves to the political actors, to the European public. We are all connected in performing this task, and nobody's alone. Vienna, January 2016, the International Conference of Mayors now.
Also, das gibt's jetzt.
So this document is available. The next document will be more detailed. I would like to thank all of those who have participated in drafting this document. And I think that this conference has been a very useful one. We may be very proud of having rendered this contribution.